Hey Facebook, happy Tuesday. So just gonna wait for a few more people, if anyone jumps on. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna get it started. So what I'm doing tonight is jumping on Facebook just to talk about a few things. This is a part of our Project U development training that we share with our customers and our team, once a week. So what I'm going to chat about, I'm going to open this up to everybody because I really think it's so important, and I've had a massive realization over the last 2 weeks about this topic, and I just really wanted it to share it with just anybody. So if you're keen on listening, just tune in, say hey if you're listening. So I'm really passionate about this. So we're going to be chatting all about self-belief, all about, our self-doubt, our bull stories, and how to change that, and why it's so important to change our belief about ourselves. So let's get it started. So basically, our external world and what happens to us externally is affected by what happens on the inside. So internally, what is happening in our brain and in our mind affects what's happening around us, is affecting the situations, is affecting the circumstances. So say you're late to an appointment, or you miss a bus, or you constantly have no money, or when you have money and then it just all of a sudden disappears again. So these are all external circumstances that actually is controlled by what's happening internally. So your self-belief, your self-doubt, all of these sort of things. So what we need to do to change these circumstances is to change the way our mind thinks and the way we think about ourselves. Because at the end of the day, if we don't think we're deserving of having money, or that we are not, we're never going to be, fit or athletic, and we don't think we deserve to be like that deep down, or we tell ourselves stories that, I'm big boned and always been big boned, and that's how I was born. That's unfortunately just what's going to stay with you, because you're constantly telling yourself these things in your brain. So I'm going to give you some little tips that I've learned over the past 2 weeks. And so I've been doing some mentoring. I'll just give a little shout out to Alex and Dan from Definition, to Tom Baker, his PT down from Kiama, and Ed Milet. He is an amazing mentor in America that I just listen to his podcasts. He's incredible. So I've kind of gained this information from them, kind of put it together just to let you know. So basically, the first thing that you can do to help change your self-beliefs and your circumstances is to change the circle of people that you hang around. Now, they say the 5 closest people to you is who affect your life, and who you kind of adapt their personalities, and not personalities, but their beliefs, I guess, and they influence you to a certain extent. But what you need to do is surround yourself with not just 5, even 5 to 10 people that you need to be consciously thinking about how they're affecting your mindset, how they're affecting your belief in yourself. So what they're doing. So say you want to get fit, and you go to the gym, and you're going to surround yourself with people that, are into fitness, into the gym. You're not just going to stand there and just work out with them. You want to actually take on board what they're doing, what they're eating, how they're training, what they're thinking, what they're actually doing, and take that and utilize that, and be so self-aware that you're realizing, hey, maybe I'm not doing those things. Maybe I need to pick up those things. Even in business, if you own a business or you're working, I'll say from a business point of view, I own a couple of businesses, and I will be like, all right, I need to improve my business. So I'm going to hang around some people that own their own businesses or entrepreneurs and see how they're succeeding. Okay, what are they doing that I'm not? How do they think? What do they do? And I constantly surround myself as much as I can with those people that are so positive and that are affecting my life in a really, really great way, and making me think and making me question myself to what I'm doing. So you want their influence to impact you, and you need to be aware of what they're doing. So even if you are hanging around, I want you to have a think. Who are you hanging around? How are they affecting your life? So have a think of your friends, have a think of your closest work friends and all that sort of thing. How are they affecting your life? So I want you to think of that, and maybe it's time to reshuffle that. And the second little thing that to help change the way you think about yourself is when you are starting something new is to really, say you have a current belief about yourself and you want it to change. Now, the best way for you to change is to give yourself a shock to the system. So what I mean by that is, say you are ready to get fit and you're just doing general fitness right now and you want to take it to the next level. Take 30 days to really apply yourself. They say it takes 21 days to create a habit, but I want you to apply yourself 30 days, and I want you to absolutely shock the system. So maybe change your training up completely, maybe go to a new gym where the surroundings and the environment are really supportive. Maybe change up your diet. Like, I don't really like the word diet and dieting, but maybe introduce more nourishing foods and, change it up a little bit. If you're eating like 900 calories, maybe it's time to bump that up and start eating more and think of food as fuel, that sort of thing. Even in business, if you're going in, you want to think 30 days, okay, how can I take this next level? You want to just be spending more time. You want to be just going ham, getting those extra calls, those extra emails, just taking it to the next level, because you want to trick your mind into thinking that you are deserving of change and you are deserving of something different. So this change that you're bringing into your life, you then raise this new bar. You're like, okay, well, this is now my new reality, and now I'm deserving of this next kind of step. I'm deserving to lose like this couple of kilos or to take my fitness to the next level. I'm deserving of my business being and bringing in this much money. So now where's the next level? And you constantly will keep going up and up, and you just will realize that you are worthy of it. Be like, hey, look, I've done this for 30 days. Look what's just happened. I'm totally deserving of this. So yeah, that's just second little tip. The third one is to stop what's not needed in your life anymore. So what I mean by that is, this is where your bullshit stories come in, and I, over the last 2 weeks, have realized that this is a huge one for me. I realize now that it's all your stories. I told myself a billion stories, and it's not until you are you're more self-aware that you realize these stories and realize, hang on a minute, these stories and these negative thoughts are what's holding you back. Like, it's literally, it's just your stories, and it's your belief around your stories that's what's holding you back. So yeah, you want to change your stories, and the best way to do this is to tell them to get lost. And stories, let me give an example if you don't really know what I'm talking about when I say this. And let's maybe use this from a personal experience. Okay, maybe let's say this is not personal, but I hear this one. So a story is, I can't lose weight. I just have a really slow metabolism. I've been so big boned since I was 10 years old. I have always been made to, my mum has restricted me from eating certain foods ever since I was 10 years old, like all this sort of stuff. And then constantly that's what you're telling in your head. Always, that's my story. I'm big bone. I just can't lose weight. My metabolism's super slow. That's your story, and that's going to stick with you. So you're never going to lose that weight, or you're never going to get to that place that you want to get. So what you have to do is completely rewire your brain and tell yourself a new story. So yeah, for example, when that story comes in your head, you need to say, no, That's not the truth. That is not my truth. That is a story that's just made up. Even with business, like me constantly telling myself like, oh, I'm not worthy of this. Oh no, like who would believe me? Who would trust all this stuff that I'm sure like people, I don't know, that people say and tell themselves. It's not really something that we openly talk about, but here I am talking about it. So yeah, that's just constantly something, and that's just bull. That's just crap. That's just stuff we've made up. So what you tell yourself is your reality. If you tell yourself, oh no, like, no, I'm not worthy. No, I don't deserve that. Oh no, I'm not a winner. I'm always second best. That was probably a big one of mine. I've never been the best or really good at anything. A story ever since I was young. Never really great at anything, so I'm average at everything. That is a story. So that is what you need to change. And I'm constantly going with that, trying to change that. So things like affirmations, everyday affirmations. I am enough. I am strong. Truly believe it. Tell your stories to get lost, because you are in control. You are in control of your reality. You've written these negative bull stories for yourself. You've written these thoughts. So you are more than capable to change that story to something positive. And yes, the wiring has been there for so many years, but you are so able to change that. Honestly, everyone has so much potential to just do whatever they want. It's what's going on inside of your head. It's the stories that you're telling yourself. Everyone can literally do anything they want. It's just yourself that's holding you back. And it's when you realize that, and when you realize, you know what, I am capable of so much, your whole life is going to change. Your circumstances are going to change. Once you develop a different story in a relationship to money, to relationships, to education, to anything that you hold as a value, this is when the magic happens. So say you had a story, you had to protect yourself in a relationship, you had to, tell yourself a story to get through it, and hold a certain belief about yourself to get through it. It's now time to change that, because that's not you anymore. That's not your reality. You need to think of who you are right now, and you need to create a really amazing story so that you can keep developing and progressing as a person, because that's the most important thing, that we're constantly progressing and that you are aware of what you're thinking and what you're telling yourself. Because you just won't get anywhere if you don't realize the stories that are going on in your mind, if you want to keep progressing and developing yourself and your business further. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed that, but I could honestly talk about that forever. So yeah, it's time to start changing those stories, guys. Get out your journals, get out your affirmations, change that, because it is only yourself that's holding you back. If you're stuck and your business or your fitness or something isn't booming, isn't changing, it's time to implement those things and change it. It's time to take it up a notch. It's time to change it, because it's you that's holding you back. It's your mind that's holding you back. You are capable of so much, and I'm just going to leave it there. I hope you all have a beautiful night or day or wherever you're watching this from. And yeah, see you next time.